Hailza, my Norse brothers and sisters. Richard here, bringing you another episode of Odin's Wisdom. Sorry, I had a little bit of a brain freeze there. Real quick, throw the disclaimer out there. This video is not for children. If you're under the age of 18, please turn it off, go away. Not to be rude and disrespectful, but this content is not specifically for you. Now, we got that out of the way. This week, we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first of which is taking time for yourself and finding your grounding, which includes taking care of yourself. The other thing we're going to talk about is something I touched on a while back, and that is not being judgmental. Okay. So with that, let's go on ahead and get right into it. Guys, you know, my grandmother passed away recently, and one of the things that she taught us was that you can't take care of anyone or anything unless you're taking care of yourself. I see a lot of people trying to take care of other people's problems, a lot of people's issues, and trying to be helpful to everyone as a whole. And that's fantastic. Except at the same time, I also see those same people that are running out to help everybody else kind of losing themselves, if you will. You cannot do that. It's not healthy for you, first of all. You have to take care of yourself, or you'll never be able to take care of anybody else. Part of taking care of yourself can and does include taking time for yourself. As some of you know, last week I took some time for myself because my grandmother passed away, and I needed to deal with that. That was my own personal battle. And as much as I'd love to have you guys be there by my side, there was nothing you guys could do about it. Okay? So, I tried not to involve you guys a whole lot. That said, though, it doesn't matter what you take your time doing. If it's something that you enjoy, that helps you find your grounding and your center and harness your chi, it's okay. For some, it might be music. Others, it might be a walk in the woods. Myself, it's video games and creating content for you guys. Spending time with my wife. We had a very lovely date night last night. Had a nice romantic walk on the beach in our bare feet, in the sand and in the water and the mud. It was nice. You have to take that time, guys. Not only for yourself, but for the ones that are closest to you. If you're married, your spouse, and your children. Children feel it. They know when you're getting drained and just feeling blah. And as a result, because they feel it and they don't know how to deal with it, they may act out. They may be cranky. They may be rebellious. Any number of things, guys. So take care of yourselves. And at that point, you'll be able to help others along their paths, along their lives. That brings me to the next point. A couple of weeks ago, I made a video for Odin's Wisdom that talked about the infighting and how the infighting has to stop, or we're going to destroy ourselves. And while that's all true, it's not just us. We're not just fighting with ourselves or other members of our religion. We're fighting with everybody. It is okay to defend what it is you believe in, but it's also important that you know there is a right way and a wrong way to go about doing it. You see somebody bullying somebody in a comment somewhere, or in public, or even walking down the street, call them out on it and then report it. Whether it's to the police, whether it's to a social media platform, the mods, admins, whoever, report it. You can only do what you can do. But you don't want to sink down to their level at the same time. You want to maintain your level of dignity and respect and the person that you are. So when you get into these arguments with other people and you start screaming and cussing and yelling and making threats and even acts of violence, okay? Are you really any better than they are? Probably not. I'm not saying there isn't a time and place for those kinds of things. There is. But publicly, not so much. And again, if you're getting the hell beat out of you because you're trying to defend somebody else that is being bullied or that is being abused or whatever the case happens to be, then how good are you actually going to be? The fighting has to stop. There's a better way. Even Odin himself says, guys, respect one another. Several times throughout the Havamal, once or twice that I can recall in the Volsungas, I think it was the Volsunga, be respectful. You don't have to agree with everybody's opinion. You don't have to agree with everybody's actions. But it doesn't mean you have to fight either. And fighting is more than just physical. There's mental fighting or emotional fighting and battles that we go through. I tend to think on a pretty regular basis, I've got my own crap to deal with. I don't really want to deal with anybody else's. Now I do. Because as the owner and founder of Old Norse Paganism, it's kind of my job to help you guys and try to guide you in a proper path of Odin, of the gods. But I try not to deal with much of anybody else's garbage. I will mentor you. I will help you through whatever struggles it is that you're having. And I have no problems doing that. But you have to be willing to take that advice, take those thoughts, those considerations that I point out, and utilize them. Perfect example, I'm not going to name names. A buddy of mine from the social media platform TikTok recently has been leading a charge, which I'm absolutely blown away by, in a good way, that there's somebody that wants to do that wants to help. But he's been leading a charge in a mission to stop bullies. Get them called out, get them deleted, get them banned, whatever. And he's been doing a freaking amazing job doing so. Problem is, I have seen in the last month how he was a happy-go-lucky guy all the time, to now he's just kind of a mopey, not sad, but you can see a sadness upon him. Definitely. You can't do that. Okay? He's not even fighting with people that are brothers and sisters of the Norse paganism. Okay? It's bullies particularly. And it makes me proud to know that there are other brothers and sisters out there that believe in standing up for what is right. But back to my point, I gave him a piece of advice yesterday. As of this morning, he decided to take that advice. He took it to heart. We had a very short, brief conversation about how I thought it was affecting him, and told him that he just needed to take a step back, reevaluate what he's doing, and move forward. Because I could see the difference in his personality a month ago and the personality today. And this morning, he's clearly heeded that advice. And for that, I am very, very proud of him. Because it's not always easy when somebody tells you, hey, whoa, pump the brakes. Take a step back and look at what you're doing and reevaluate the way that you're doing it. You know, I'm a firm believer in the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, and I'm absolutely with this anti-bully movement. But me getting out there and publicly, you know, calling these guys out, or inviting them to come antagonize me or anything like that, isn't going to do me any good. There's other ways. So keep that in mind. He's now evaluating those other ways. Go, dude. This is something that I've been kind of thinking about for a while. I want us all, brothers and sisters alike, I don't care if you believe in animal sacrifice, I don't care if you don't or do, I don't care if you drink or don't drink, I don't care if you smoke a little grass or maybe you don't smoke any grass. I don't care. But we all need to unite as a united Norse pagan front. And I'm not going to call it shield wall because it's not the same. And there are several people already using that for the anti-bullies. But I don't really care what you guys decide to call this united front. But part of being in that united front, or being a united front, is having the ability to cease the infighting, to ignore, if you will, for the lack of a better word, my belief practices versus William de Leon, as an example. Okay. He and I are different people. We're going to be different. You and I are different. We're not going to have all the same thought processes. We're not going to have all the same rituals or practices. It's just what it boils down to. If you believe what you're doing is honorable, if you believe what you're doing is a blessing for the gods, that's all that matters. Stop calling each other out. You know, it is about love. It is about humanity. It is about respect. You know, and even the United States military has started recognizing Norse paganism as a religion. But I want to point out, there are 7 core values in the United States Army. Honor, integrity, respect, loyalty, selflessness, honesty, and for some reason the other one slipped in my mind. Okay, and all of those values are very similar to the 9 noble values. Okay? If you don't know what those are, you need to check them out. And they're actually called the 9 noble virtues. Study them, learn them, know them, forwards, backwards. Knowing them and practicing them on a regular basis will make you a better person. I don't really know what else to say at this point, guys, because I'm heartbroken. You guys aren't taking care of yourselves. You're worried about everybody else's problems. You're also worried about the way that everybody else practices or doesn't practice Norse paganism. And that's not okay. It doesn't matter. It's not for you to judge. It's for the gods to decide. Now, if, like me, you have a friend that you see who is doing a noble mission, but it's affecting them personally, it's okay to let him know, hey man, you need to take a step back. Because that's what we do. We're brothers and sisters. We look after one another. Look after one another. Love one another. Respect one another. Honor the gods. And most of all, be loyal to your brothers and sisters. Part of being loyal to your brothers and sisters does not mean calling them out in public. As always, guys, I love you. God's bless you. Be safe. We'll speak again soon.